you?
I'm so good. Thanks for talking to me today.
Oh my goodness, it's so nice to have Fancy Like on the station because it's relatable, it's fun, and clearly people can dance to it. So we love it.
That's right. I didn't know I was a choreographer till this year. But it's honestly, I don't. Mainly my daughter's moves. Honestly, I just make sure normal people can do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have moves. Like you can just tell. Like you can tell if someone can dance or not. Like I
Dude,
can't. You can.
hey, I can shake it and I love it. I have always been that guy. I remember my first like sock hop in my life. My parents, they kind of walked me in and signed my name. I don't know, whatever. Just kind of took me to it. And as they were leaving, they watched me and I was like, I was born for this. Let's go. I love to dance so much.
My mom for years tried to get me in dance class because I played sports all the time. Like my dad was a
Yeah.
sports person, and then like if you can do sports, you can totally dance. No, no,
Come on.
no, man, it's sad.
I bet you're better than you think you are.
I'll send you a TikTok and then prove it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see do the fancy leg. I want to see it.
No, anyway. So here's the thing: it's like you are new for us for pop radio.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo. You've been around for a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just your cliche, like been working at it forever. Just like everybody. I mean, I feel like it's rare that it's a miracle if somebody just comes out of the gate with something like this. Most of our heroes and athletes we look up to or artists or whatever, they all have a story to tell, that you really rarely hear prior to their, success. And it's usually a grind. It's probably got some trauma, some setbacks, some disadvantages or whatever. But yeah, I mean, my wife and I, we moved to Nashville in '04, and honestly, we're not like goal setting people. I just love what I do, and I never really did it or don't really do it to like break records or anything. I'm just grateful that I get to make music and feed the kids that way. That's a, I mean, you're in the entertainment industry, you get it. Like we all get to do a job that's a little left of center. It's out of the box. We're not putting on khakis, going working a 9 to 5. So we're glad. Do we have dreams? Like, would we all love to have a massive, cultural movement of a hit like Fancy Like? Absolutely. But you know, really the greatest thing to me about Fancy Like is that it is probably prolonging my career. It's given me more years to do something I love. So I don't even know if I answered your question, but yeah, it's just honestly at this point in my life, and especially the newness of pop, like me being on pop stations, I can't believe it. I mean, I am blown away that I can be riding in my car, listening to a top 40 station, and I hear what's need you to stay, need you to stay. I hear that, and then all of a sudden it's like, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And honestly, I wonder what are the Biebers and the Ed Sheerans and the Dua Lipas? What do they do when they look at the chart and like there's a song in the way, and they're like, why? What is this song? What is this doing? And I wish I could ask some of them.
The thing is, maybe they should mention more Applebee's and Oreo shakes.
You're exactly right. If they would just write about corporate American chains. I love that you got the whipped cream ready to go.
Yeah, I special ordered this.
So perfect, so perfect. I love it.
But the thing is I said, oh, this is on the Walker Hayes discount, and they were just like, no. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll pay for it, whatever.
They made you. Yeah, you should put it on my tab. I was telling everybody's always like, yo, is Applebee's taking care of you? And they are. We have so many gift cards, and we'll be using them for years. But it's a phenomenon. I mean, I think you can. Sometimes when I hear the song, I'm like, what is it? Like, what did I do? What did we do as writers? Like, is there some scientific thing that we can just do every time? Because I'd love to do that every time, you know.
That's the
But
thing about it. It's just so relatable and it's fun and it's like families coming together, all doing the dance.
oh yeah,
That you doing it with your daughter. It's like it's a nice, wholesome song that no one's like mad at anybody in the. You know what I'm saying? Like all
yeah,
songs about breakups and I can't stand you and getting back at this one.
yeah.
We're just like, hey, let's go to Applebee's and have some fun.
Let's go.
And I
Yeah,
mean, if
it's
you have a Bourbon Street steak, then just
oh my
get it.
gosh,
Like,
you
just
got
get
the
it.
works. You did the whole meal.
Listen, it's an excuse to gain more weight. It's the
I
fall,
love
and then
it.
I know, so you dip
Oh,
it.
you're doing the trick. Yeah, that's the trick right there. The trick of
Yeah.
the trade. You
Mm.
want to make it a cheap steak expensive, dip it
Oh,
in those mashed potatoes.
mm. All day, every
That's
day.
amazing. Yes.
So good. Um, so my other thing is like, did Olive Garden call you up and be like, dude, we got breadsticks and salad for you. What's your problem?
It's funny. That's a great question because Olive Garden is definitely near and dear to my heart as well. And I, my wife and kids and I, we're just simple people. Like we would never go to Ruth Chris. Like I don't even understand like how meat could cost more, like why it's better. Why would you want to dress up nicer to go somewhere? That's just foreign to me. And we're just simple people. But yeah, we love some Olive Garden and those breadsticks. Woo! Come
Woo,
on. And the
baby.
salad. I'm not even really a salad guy, but I love theirs.
It'll make you feel
Um,
healthier.
yeah, exactly. I guess it's like compliments the breadsticks. You're like, well, I eat salad, so I deserve another breadstick. But really, we're just mind blown. I mean, it's hilarious. We did the Kesha version. We've
Mm.
done a regional Mexican version. I'm sure there's going to be more remixes in the future, and um, we got new music coming out soon, and Lord knows, I mean, I'm like, will it cross over? I don't know. I just don't even know. We're not even now at this point. We're just trying to really soak in the moment, because like I said earlier, it's rare. I mean, there's, I think us as artists and entertainers, we're surrounded by each other. But if you go back and I remember as a kid listening to music, there's only so many people who can occupy that spotlight, and they get that opportunity to be really large and to make an impact on the world. I mean, every artist wants millions of fans, but the truth is there's only going to be so many, that really reach a certain level, and it's insane, to be a dad and come home and be like, my kids are like, what'd you do? And I'm like, we just made a Kesha video, a remix video for Fancy. Like, I think it drops, what's today, Wednesday?
Yep.
I think it drops tomorrow. So, that's pretty cool. I'm excited
Yeah.
about that.
So I also noticed stalking your TikTok, you did a little shout out to Iggy Azalea and Drake,
Oh yeah.
songs with Fancy.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking another collab, Lil Nas X,
Let's go.
I mean,
I
Old Town
mean,
Road.
that makes sense. Dude is hot right now. And I mean, I love Panini just as much as Old Town Road. But yeah, I mean, there's so many great artists out there. And yeah, that Iggy Azalea song just fought. It's actually funny. My producer just messing around made a remix. We didn't release it, but it goes into that I'm so fancy, and it works so good. And then at the end, it ends up with that Drake, the yeah, you fancy, huh? Oh,
Mhm.
you fancy, huh? And it's just neat. I love that stuff. And it's fun, to have a song. Look, I would have killed for some of these collabs a year ago, with tons of material that I have, but it's just fun to have a song that's a certain size where we can contact the Keshas of the world, and I could run something by Iggy Azalea, I guess, and again, I couldn't do that prior to Fancy Like, nobody cared, and now now we got a hit. So we're having fun asking fun stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and we like having you on the station, so we would prefer to have more hits if you could do that for
Let's
us.
go. Well, look, I'll try to give you the goods, and I appreciate y'all playing it now, and I hope it's a rocket for you guys, and I hope all the listeners love it.
I did a wedding 2 weeks ago, and someone came up to the table like, "You haven't played Fancy Like yet," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
me, I am sorry."
come on. Yeah,
Like everybody on the dance floor, huge success. But I did
yeah.
notice that you went and performed at a wedding. That would have helped me out if you could have came. I would have
Oh
got
yeah.
it if I knew you were available.
That was a good buddy of mine, and it was such a fun surprise. His wife she's a big fan, and she knew they were doing the dance to the song, but she didn't know that I could make it or was coming. And so it was really fun. He got on the mic and he was like, thanks for coming to our fancy like wedding. We're gonna do this dance. And then I got on the mic and everybody was like, oh my God, so it was fun. And my wife actually was standing behind me too. And we love weddings. They're so joyful, and they make you just want to fall in love all over again. But it was super cool. Like, and that's the most amazing thing to me about this song is I used to have a very specific demographic, and it was kind of your obvious like country female loving country artist, person like between a certain age. And what I've loved about Fancy Like is just now it just seems like there's no limit. It's like there will be 4-year-olds at my concert and their parents literally just brought them to come see my show. So then their parents start to fall in love with other stuff that I do, even though they may be sick of Fancy Like because they're a kid, but then there's like this cute, elderly couple who love to dance, and they're like over here, and it's just all walks of life, races, ages. And again, if I, dadgummit, if I just knew how we did it, I would have done it a long time ago, and I'd do it again today. But you know, music's like that. It's like catching, a billion lightning bugs in a bottle, and I don't know. It's just it's really odd, and it's really exciting to watch just everybody. I love watching dads. I love seeing the uncomfortable dad with his daughter, and you could tell he's never danced a day in his life, but his daughter convinced him to do the dance, And then he's on TikTok, he's like, what the crap is TikTok, And but he's there, he's in the pink room, and she's dressed like a princess, and he's in like his work clothes, and he's trying his best to do the moves. And that, I don't know, it's just precious that music can create those moments, and that dad and that daughter, they'll have that forever as long as they live.
Exactly. And I feel like in a way though, maybe worth the wait. Like all of a sudden, and sometimes, like you said, it never happens. And now, I mean, I don't want to, inflate your head, but you're pretty huge. Right?
Yeah.
You're a big deal.
No, you know what? Which honestly, I don't think I think the Lord allows us to have certain things happen to us and not happen to us in his timing. And I would have been a terrible famous person as a kid. I would have. And now, I'm able to look at it through an eternal lens. And I will tell everybody out there who's chasing a crazy, elusive, giant dream that catching it doesn't change anything. I look in the mirror and it's the same broken dude. I mean, I still fight with my wife. I still snap at my kids. I still hate things that I do on a daily basis, just out of my sinful human nature. And having a hit like Fancy Like didn't prove anything to me, or it definitely didn't prove me to myself. And I think that's the misconception when we're young and we set out to chase these dreams. We look at it as a, if I could only do this mentality, then I would. And
Right.
like I said, it doesn't change anything. I mean, again, I'm grateful financially, we're better, and that's awesome and all, but it doesn't make us happier. It doesn't save us. There's only one dude who can do that, and that's Jesus.
And an Applebee's Oreo shake.
And an Applebee's shake. There you go. That can make you feel better for
It-
sure. For
it
a
does.
minute.
Yeah.
It might wreck your stomach though. I was about to say all that feels good going down, but don't go to bed immediately. I've learned that. Like
No.
you don't want to eat that right before you slip into bed. But
It's a nice
no,
little
man.
heads
Yeah. Yeah.
up. Put that in the description.
I'm a dietitian now since I brought the Oreo shake back. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Well, Walker Hayes, listen, we wish you the best of luck. We want to hear a lot more from you. All the best of luck in the future. And hopefully we can chat again, maybe in person next time at, I don't know, maybe Olive Garden. We'll give Olive Garden a shot.
Hey, let's do it. Don't tell Applebee's, but we will.
Oh.
We'll go hit some of those breadsticks. Hey, thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Congratulations.